Thank you. Commissioner Cooper, can you turn, I'll do it. Give me a second, I'm gonna turn the light on in here. It's off. What's that?
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yep. This meeting is being conducted in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act of 1975. It was advertised, posted, and made available to the public as required by statute. The municipal clerk is directed to include a statement in the minutes of this meeting. Madam Clerk, are there any changes to the agenda?
No, Mayor.
Public comment on agenda items only. Anyone that would like to make a comment on an agenda item, please step up to the mic, state your name and your concerns, and limit your comments to 5 minutes, please. Mary's shaking her head no. Seeing no one, I close the public comment on agenda items. Old business, please.
There is no old business, Mayor.
Discussion of commissioners. Commissioner Cooper.
None at this time, Mayor.
Commissioner Pepitone.
None at this time, Mayor.
Commissioner Udalvis.
I have no report at this time, Mr. Mayor.
Vice Mayor Parent.
Not at this time, Mayor. Thank you.
We'll move on to,
Did you want to discuss the land sale list?
Brian Rosenberg.
He's not here. He wasn't going to be able to attend, but I think Commissioner Udalvis spoke with him.
Oh, you
I
got-
do. I have the land sale list that I had the opportunity to review with Brian Rosenberger, our tax assessor. And we have approximately 14 properties that are organized by block and lot. We have, of the properties, 5 that do not have a requester that's been associated with the request to have this type of sale that would be a public sale. In regard to 2 of the properties that are landlocked, Mr. Rosenberger had explained that the properties would most likely also require or be agreeable to providing a notice to neighboring properties in order to increase the odds of them being picked up at the public sale. So with the information that I have provided with the list of requests dated 10/23/2019 for the public sale, we would be free to answer any questions, but we are looking at this, I would guess, the December 3rd meeting, providing an advertisement through the city clerk's office to advertise
Correct.
for the public sale.
There's 2 advertisements that have to take place, and I believe that would come from our legal counsel because depending on whether there's any easements on the property, I think we went through this before,
Right, yeah.
that would require a different type of advertisement, and there's also a 7-day window where it's 7 days before the sale and 7 days before that date.
Right. And I think the one most important point of emphasis would be that while our tax assessor had recommended possibly issuing courtesy letters to neighboring properties, that they are not subject to noticing requirements as required by planning board, zoning board, different
Right.
changes to ordinances. So these would simply be courtesy letters to advise different neighboring properties that there would be sales that would be public sales, so that if they were to be interested, they would be able to take advantage of that. So only a courtesy letter, but any questions could, of course, be forwarded to our tax assessor, Brian Rosenberger. And that's all the information I have at this time.
Can I interject real quick? How does the process of the land sale work?
Well, whenever the city has land and it's not, and the commissioners decide it's not needed for public purpose, then you can sell it, and you have an auction. Anybody can come and they can bid. Sometimes we'll place a floor on the value of the property because, you don't want to give it away for
Right.
less than maybe we think that it's worth. Sometimes if there are liens on the property, we want to get at least enough to cover the liens.
Gotcha.
We've done that before. But we can sell, pretty much any property that we want to, as long as it's not needed for a public purpose. And the idea is it gets it back on the tax rolls.
A lot of these are interested people who sent a letter to us to have this come before the commission to decide whether it's useful or not because they're already either maintaining the property or want to, expand their property and put it back on the tax roll.
And these are the requesters.
A lot
at this point.
of them. I don't know if all of them, but there's quite a few since we haven't had one for a while.
In addition, these are a lot of adjacent lots that the Parks Department's been having to maintain,
Exactly.
which is taxing, the system we have keeping up with all our
And
properties.
then once they buy it, then it's their problem.
Right. Sure.
And if there's a problem with it, then instead of, the Commissioner Cooper having to send our guys over to fix it, the
Right.
owner's got to do it, or else we'll do it and put a lien on the property.
Do we, for, I can't think of his name. Does any of you guys know the guy who works with computers?
Oh, Gary Myers?
Gary Myers. There was a piece of property adjacent to his that he's requested
Yeah.
before. And I don't know if that's on here, or how would we go about connecting?
I can check
with
my
him?
files to see if when he submitted the letter, and then double check with the tax
And-
assessor as
and
to
that
why,
could be
if it
potentially
wasn't
brought
added.
in?
Right, because what happens is, as soon as Brian gets I get the notification that somebody's interested, I send it to Brian Rosenberger, who just disseminates to all the department heads. So if somebody from maybe like planning says, oh, this might be of use, maybe that's why it was not included. So
Gotcha.
everyone has a chance to weigh in on the property as to why it might be valuable to the city to maintain.
But does this happen every so often? Like they bring a bunch of them together?
Yeah.
Would it be still possible if there was an interest by him and no interest by anybody else to include it in this sale?
Well, I mean, I think you could include it, and as long as, the planning department or some other part of the city
Doesn't want it for
doesn't have
anything.
some reason for wanting to hold on to
Okay.
it.
Well, that's.
Put it on the list, and then if you think that it has a certain value, then put a floor on it. And if someone comes in and they don't bid enough money, then it'll remain in city hands, but then another, you have an auction and
that
hopefully you
on
can sell it.
Columbia?
Yeah, from what I remember, because it was a while ago.
I
we
remember
spoke-
too.
It
Okay.
wasn't a big piece of property,
Okay.
and it was something.
It's the
that
one
takes
next
care
to
of it.
his, and it's on Columbia Avenue.
I
next
can
to
check
his.
that in my
Okay.
file. Okay.
That's what brought it to mind, but thank you.
I'm just curious how the list was actually put together. Other than the requesters, because there's a lot of vacant property
Well,
in
there-
Millville. So how was it really put
I
together?
think there's actually a statute that says we're supposed to make a list. We're required to do that. And it's
Is that
not
annually?
something- And it's not something that we always do, but I think we are required to
We could
maintain
start.
a
When's
list.
the last
Tax
time we did
assessor
one?
usually
Yeah.
keeps control of the list.
Yeah.
He's,
When was the last time we did one? Do we know?
well, we've done this.
2017, I want
Yeah,
to
I was
say,
gonna say,
2017,
17
or
or
20, actually
16.
Yeah, we've
2018, we
done
did
about
one
every couple
for
years.
Orange Street. That was the one property, but prior to that, when we actually had the auction with multiple properties, it was 2017.
So other than the requesters, just help me out here. Other than the requesters, how were the other properties put on here? How did they get here?
Okay, so if,
Who said, yes, this property should be there?
so the tax assessor might look at the map and say, this is, but I'm not, I have to confirm with him if whether he does that or not, but I would assume that he's the one who would, look at a property and say, this is something
Yeah,
you
and
want to
then-
get
and
rid of
then
because it's of no
also-
use if it's not buildable.
And then identify that to the commission too,
Right.
so that they have say.
And awareness.
I also believe that some of these have been on the list before and didn't sell.
Yeah.
So he
Oh,
brings them forward.
that's true.
That's another.
We've had that many times where we have
Yeah,
properties
they
and
just don't
nobody
sell.
comes in and bids on them.
But,
General-
so it's really the tax assessor there. That's the
Yes.
only one who really
Yes,
put them
Brian
on here.
controls the
What starts with him?
He does reach out to everybody, but he sort of keeps watch of the list.
He does.
If you check your email, you probably have emails. I could be wrong, but I would say I have emails.
Yeah, every time one comes through, it gets sent out to all the city department heads, and I believe you guys are all included on that.
Yeah.
Whenever
You're on
somebody
the
somebody
department head
requests to
list.
purchase property from the city.
Interesting.
Well, kudos to Brian and his staff for
Yes.
doing this. It's
Yeah.
good information for us, regardless. I think it's great for us to look at it now, so good job. Is that all, Vice Mayor and
That's it.
Commissioner Davis? All right, I have nothing. New business, please.
There is no new business, Mayor.
We've reached the public comment portion of our meeting. Anyone would like to address this commission, please go to the podium, state your name and address your concerns, and please limit your comments to approximately 5 minutes.
Good evening, Kirk Hewitt, Millville. I'm going to speak about solar again.
Kurt,
Yes.
can you give me your address, please?
Sure, 2426 Cedar Street. Up by the airport.
Yeah, people are going up there and saying Millville.
Yeah.
It says address,
Yeah.
so,
Okay.
thank you.
Yep. There's been a lot said. Hopefully there's going to be some people here tonight for the presentation again, because I see we got a presentation on the agenda. I have here, and I can't tell you how I would be able to print it out, because I changed phones. That's why I didn't print it out. I got a bunch of projects here that was done by Synergy. There are some problems with almost every one of them that are being dealt with in other cities and towns. Hamilton Township's a big one. That's been going on for 5 years. And I guess that they walked away this year April this year. Just about time they started coming here.
Hamilton Township, North Jersey,
In
Hamilton?
North Hamilton, yeah.
Train station, Hamilton.
I mean, I got you know, a site in Buna. We even made it with the sewer department. A site in Lakewood, a site in Bridgewater, Massachusetts, Egg Harbor Township, because that's Delilah Road, Irma, New Jersey, which is down south here, Lower Township, Bayshore Road, down below. It leads to what my question was going to be tonight for later on after the presentation. Who maintains, like you spoke about, Commissioner Cooper's department, you know, with all the grass cutting and everything. Who maintains these? Because it's supposed to be totally owned and maintained by the solar company that builds it. And it seems like in all of these, it's got aerial views and everything of the projects before, after, and walked away from as done. Not walked away from, but wrong wording. But it seems like, I don't know what's in the plans as far as ground cover and stuff goes, and basically disguising these panels some after they're there instead of just seeing panels. It doesn't get done. It even gives all the plans for each one of these projects. I mean, this is enormous, this package here. Where it was in the project parameters, it was going to be done. It was going to be, you know, covered and stuff like that. Made it to look presentable. But what you got is you just got a mirror field with dirt and weeds. Just another question that maybe should be looked at. I don't know how far you've got. I see it's there to maybe come off table again tonight with like the shared service contract that we're in now and stuff. Hopefully maybe there'll be some answers to that later on or whatever. You know, that were discussed last week because there was a lot of discussion at the last meeting from you guys, from the commissioners and Regina. Again, it's just, you know, and I'm not fighting solar. I want to make that clear. I'm fighting the trail that follows the company that's here to do the solar. I can remember Mr. Durst standing here one night talking about the big environmental impact that LKQ was going to have out there. And why in the world would you ever allow something like that to happen? You research this stuff and everything, and you wind up with a big problem at the end of its term. Something I just found out today also. SRACs only pay for 15 years. What's he going to do at the end of 10? Is he going to some way go away and then it is on the city to take care of? 15 years, he stops getting money on it. There's 10 more years left. I know they said, you know, if you don't want it, we'll take it out. But they're not going to be here. Just like I said last meeting, a lot of us aren't going to be here at that time. And somebody's going to have a mess out there, whoever's sitting in those seats and the residents of this town. You know, somebody's going to most likely have a mess. And I just want to refer back to Vineland. I don't know if anybody looked into it, but they are replacing a lot of panels out there. And that's an AC electric field. That's not somebody private. They don't last. They start deteriorating and they start making troubles. That's all. Hopefully we hear something different than what we heard the last 6 or 7 times that Synergy has been here to talk to you guys. Thank you.
Kirk, can you share with us where you're getting that information from, please?
This came from, bear with me here. When I attach something smart to something, it's no good for me. This came from Documents Delaware River Keeper Network, and it came from building and construction drawings and materials from the cities that they
Delaware
received.
Keeper Network.
DelawareKeeper.org. Ongoing issues, Synergy Solar. You want to copy it down?
No, that's good. I got it. I got it. Thank you.
I mean, it's massive. There's just so much there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? I close the public comment portion of this meeting. Comments of commissioners?
None at this time, Mayor.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Not at this time, Mayor.
Commissioner Galvis?
I think that it would just be helpful, since we had a public comment, whether we can provide as a city any update regarding any contacts that we've had regarding that direct energy and finding out about the forfeiture fee, just to kind of follow up on that question.
I did hear back from the Direct Energy representative today trying to verify the cost. Direct Energy delivers their product, the cost of their product, their energy, is .0403, which is 4 cents. There is then a transmission charge that Atlantic Electric charges to get the energy to us. I'm not absolutely sure what that number is. The representative from Direct Energy suggests that we check with Mr. Durst and find out whether the .059, which is what is in his proposal, whether that is his total cost for delivery and everything. If that is his total cost for delivery, then it would probably be cheaper, because there is a spreadsheet in his proposal that makes it look as if our cost of delivery and all is about 14 cents. So if his total cost is just the 6 cents, then there would be a savings. In addition to that, his proposal, he assumes the next 25 years that electric will go up 4% a year for 25 years. On the flip side, he has the solar proposal. He's asked for, his proposal is a 2% escalator. So there are some questions that I'm assuming are going to be answered during the presentation tonight.
But we haven't received any of that information yet, though, have we?
I only got that information on a phone call this afternoon.
Yeah.
So we're hoping that the 0.59 covers the AC charge. That's what
Yes.
you're saying,
That's
right?
what the question is, yes.
I have another question. He mentioned dropping it to one, the escalator by one.
That's the escalator on the lease side.
Right,
There
but
is
I'm
no
saying-
escalator on the lease side right now, and he said that he was willing to make it a 1% escalator. I believe that's what he said. You know,
That benefits us as opposed to
that would
2%.
increase the $20,000 lease if it's 1% by $200 a year.
Yeah, I mean, it's not much. That's the thing. 1% of 20,000
I'm just saying
is
it was one,
$200.
and my point is, if he offered it, how do we read that into the bill to get that?
Right, because
that-
the current number would be $22,950. That was the agreed upon lease for 25
That,
years.
you have to understand, as you see on the resolution, there's two situations. One is that he's leasing land, his offers, in a redevelopment zone. We're not required to bid that. That's one part of it. And the other part, we did bid, and that's the proposal to come in with the solar energy. And his proposal to deliver solar energy came in at .059.
And he was saying that energy would be going up 4% a year?
That's what he estimates in his spreadsheet, yes.
And we're going to get
That's in the
1% every
proposal.
year?
I'm sorry?
No. He's basically saying the cost of energy is going to go up in other words, not for us. In other
To
words,
the end
AC
user.
Electric's bill would go up approximately 4 cents.
Okay.
Which would make the savings
4%.
greater if ours locks in as AC Electric goes up. The savings margin is
Okay.
greater.
His is a
okay.
2% escalator, though. His will, during the 25 years, will go up 2% a year.
2%?
That's what he's proposed,
Okay.
yes.
2%.
But a
Okay.
worthwhile research factor would also be whether or not Atlantic City Electric has at all decreased
We don't
over the
know.
last 5 years, rather than actually increased by 4% annually. So that's another question that
Yeah.
would be worthwhile to research. It would provide us a precedent to determine whether or not that 4% is really a valid figure in a projection.
But who would? I'm going to just share this. I feel like every meeting there's more questions. Is there a possibility to put all the questions out so that you have the opportunity to answer all of them? So every 2 weeks, another question's not asked or added.
I think they were the only questions I had, and I have emails.
So that question was previously asked.
A commissioner had asked for me to get those answers. I have 2 or 3 emails going back and forth with the representative from Direct Energy, and I spoke with her by phone today.
No, the one I'm referring to was the overall cost of AC Electric. Like, has
Well,
it been-
her advice to me, and she didn't know anything about the
Oh.
AC Electric. Her advice to me was to find out if the
transportation
.059 was everything, all in.
If it is, it's a good deal.
Yeah, if it is, it's a great
Good deal.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah,
Find
yeah,
out where we
because
are.
absolutely. That makes me feel good,
we just have to find that out.
just for right now.
We have a student that wants to raise his hand now.
Can't.
He's got to go to the bathroom.
Can't, Kurt. Can't, sorry. Any other questions regarding this? All right, we're moving on then, right? Resolutions?
Yeah, we have a resolution authorizing a closed session for the following matter: employee prescription drug program under contract negotiations and deliberative process.
Mr. Mayor, move the adoption of this resolution.
Second motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Eudalovich?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries.
So we're going to the back.
All right, we'll go into closed session. We'll Jeannie. Delay. There you go. The motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye, aye.
Aye.
Thank you.